So Be'ez Hashem, we're back with the limud of Kibud Av Va'em here in Bet Knesset David Chai. It's around 10 o'clock in the morning, so if you want to join us. So we're going to go into, we're in the middle of actually, Siman Reish Mem, 240, in continuation of Halacha, we started today 5. So yesterday we ended off that a person is obligated to serve his father or mother just like any servant would serve his master. So that's the way we looked over. Oh, 1 second. We are actually a little bit wider. We're a little further. We were stopped by... Right, Vav. We are continuing in Vav. היה צריך על שום דבר... Okay, today is, by the way, Erev Rosh Chodesh Shvat. Today is 29th of Tevet. Be'ez Hashem, which is Wednesday, the 4th day of the week of Parashat Shabbat, Shabbat Bo. So continue סעיף ו' היה צריך על שום דבר בעיר, וידוע ששלימו חפצו בשביל אביו, אף על פי שיודע שגם כן יעשו בשבילו, לא יאמר עשו לי דבר פלוני בשבילי, אלא יאמר עשו בשביל אבא, כדי לתלות הכבוד באביו. So he says, the rabbi says, or the Maran says it was like this. If a person needed to buy something or acquire something from within the city, and the same item which was needed for his father, right? So let's say certain utensils, people buy pots in olden days, right? That you would go to Uman, or let's say shoes or whatever it is, right? So I'm getting my shoes done, and my father needs to get the shoes done, right? So he says that Maran tells us that שיודע שגם כן יעשו בשבילו, לא יאמר עשו לי דבר. He should not say to the shoemaker, make my shoes. What should he do? He should say, just a second, maybe it's the lady. Okay, so he says that when you're going to ask the master to perform a task for you, let's say to repair shoes and the whole things, so and your father needs the same thing, says the rabbi, you should promote that he's doing it for your father at the first hand. Meaning, don't mention it's done for you. Do it for your father, in order again to show honor that it's being done. The job is being done for your father. Okay, לדבר פלוני בשבילי, אלו יאמר עשו בשביל אבא, כדי לתלות הכבוד באביו. Meaning, the task should be done you should say it should be done on the father's behalf. So this way you give honor to your father at that moment. So meaning like let's say for instance. You live with your father together. You should not, never, but let's say the person lives with his father together. And you need to hire a repairman to repair the roof. Okay? So now, when they're repairing the roof, technically speaking, they're repairing it for you, you live there. But no, because your father lives there, you say, we're repairing the roof for my father. Elevate, put your father always at a pedestal. That's the bottom line. Okay? Zayin.
If you both have shoes, you say, I'm fixing my father's shoes.
Yes. And my shoes also on the other hand. Okay, but everything, put your father always on a pedestal. Your parents, not just your father. Everything where we say your father, because remember, it means the mother as well, because specifically he's talking now, because we're talking to men to men. חייב לעמוד בפני אביו ואם, ואם האב תלמיד בנו, כל אחד מהם עומד בפני השני. Okay. So Halacha Zayin tells us that a person is obligated to stand before his father at all times. No, what happens is, sometimes in many cases, today's generation is very prevalent, that the father is learning from his son Torah. So meaning the son now is the rabbi. Right? So in this case, both have to honor each other. So for instance, the father is sitting in a room, and the son comes in, the father should get up for his rabbi. But it does not diminish the honor from the son, obligation from the son to honor his father at all times. Same rules apply. Just now, because he's a student, the father is a student, he is obligated to stand up for the aspect of the limud of Torah, the rabbi part of his son. But all the rules apply. You cannot say, so let's see, continue down. So now Ashkenazim have a step in here, see what they say. Haggad says, ואם הבן רוצה למחול על כבודו, לשמר שאביו שהרשות בידו. But if the son says to his father, I beg you, please do me a favor. I don't care that I'm your rabbi. Please don't stand up for me. Thank you very much.
You want coffee?
Don't stand up for me. Then the right is in his own. The son has that right. He told his father not to stand up for him, and now anytime the son walks into the room, the father doesn't have to stand up. That's it's his a right to decide whatever he wants. Because we know the rabbi could tell his students in the yeshiva, don't get up for me when I walk in, and he's allowed to do that. A rabbi is allowed to tell his students, don't honor me.
Yeah. Rabbi Milstein, I was
Ledavka,
he was coming over. I wanted to get up. He sat me down like this. He
Yeah.
says, when you're learning Torah, you don't get up.
for him,
That's what he said. Yeah.
for him you don't get up.
No, he said that's the halacha.
Again, for him you don't get up. No, that's not the halacha. I just told you. For him it's the halacha. He could say, as your rabbi, he could tell you, when I get in, but Rabbi Ovadia Yosef comes in, of course you're going to get up. That's a shayla. What's a shayla? Rabbi Ovadia didn't give you permission not to get up for him.
Even if you're
learning. If you're in the middle of a shiur, let's say, listening to a lecture, which a lot of people, big mistake, I am totally against that. If you're in the middle of a lecture, the rabbi is a 15-year-old rabbi who's giving a lecture to a bunch of people, and Rabbi Ovadia Yosef comes in, it's a big avirah for them to get up. For Rabbi Ovadia, I'm telling you. In the middle of a shiur, it's a different
in the middle
story.
of shiur, a
That's
lecture.
right. That's right.
So right now, this is not considered a shiur?
No, now we're learning chavruta.
So for chavruta, no, I'm asking.
Chavruta is a different story, and even in chavruta, Rabbi Ovadia walks in, the chavruta has to get up. But the Rabbi Ovadia could say to his students, don't get up when I walk in. That's allowed. He's mocher b'kvodo. He's allowed to say, don't honor me at this moment. Again, only this moment. It doesn't mean now you're sitting in a restaurant and the rabbi comes in and you sit over there, continue enjoying your meal. That's for sure not allowed. Not only because we're learning Torah, he give you that allowance. Now, I'm going to make a bracha.
But during tefillah, we get up.
What? Of course.
In the middle of tefillah?
Yeah. Depends where also. Today it's not nahug to get up in the middle of Kriyat Shema. Wherever he's not allowed to get up, because the rules are if you arouse yourself in the middle of Kriyat Shema, you must still stay standing. You understand that, right? Kriyat Shema, if you got up, you're not allowed to sit down anymore. You're not allowed to sit down anymore once you're standing up in the middle of Kriyat Shema. I'm going to make a bracha. Those people who listen to hear this on YouTube should not answer amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol niya b'dvarom. You hear? Why did I say on YouTube? Because it's pre-recorded. Okay, next. Dafka b'tzena afilo b'paresia. This is specifically when does the rabbi is allowed? Yeah, the rabbi says all this. Dafka when the rabbi is in a private place, like in a shul, like it's not public. או אפילו ברפרנסיה, ודש בעירו שהכל יודעים שהוא אביו, אבל אם הבן גדול בתורה, ואין אביו דש בעירו, יקלמחש דלביזויו התורה. Now, here, this is specifically talking about where everybody knows that this father is learning by this student, and that's his father. But let's say his father is Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, right? Sorry, the son is Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, and his father is not known to everybody that his student is the father. And people will come and think that this guy doesn't want to get up with the rabbi. You know the famous story with Chafetz Chaim. Chafetz Chaim was what's his name? He was in a dilemma. You hear? Ariel Hashem. He was in a dilemma. Can a person speak Lashon Hara on himself or not? Okay, that's what you say.
Can a person speak Lashon Hara on himself?
About himself, yeah.
No, cannot.
So Chafetz Chaim says, Chafetz Chaim was in a dilemma.
You shouldn't even like talk. Remember, it was
Hold on. No, we're not talking about
No?
that. No, we're not talking about that. You're saying, can Chafetz Chaim say? Can a Chafetz Chaim say? What's his name? So he's saying that can a person say something bad, or evil about himself, or not? Not evil, like just diminish your honor. So he was in a dilemma. He was discussing it. Yes, no. I said there's not a problem. Not a problem.
Chafetz Chaim says no.
No. I tell you what happened. And I think he stopped over there, but I think maybe the story is not told over properly. The story was that he was traveling on a train, right? And the guy, Rabbi Chafetz Chaim was, Yom Tov is not so tall. I'm a little bit taller than him, right? But imagine Yom Tov take off his head, That was the height of Chafetz Chaim. Very short man. Very small.
And you want to take my head off?
I'm saying the size.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so now what happened was he was driving in a train, and there was a passenger is saying, all excited. What? There was an information that Chafetz Chaim arriving in the station, and that meant that we're going to see, I live in that town, we're going to be greeting the giant of Torah. The Chafetz Chaim was sitting there and says, no, what giant of the Torah? What are you talking
Not
about?
so big.
He's not so big. Yeah, he's talking about himself. So the guy beat him up. The guy beat him up, they say. Hit him with the fist.
It didn't say something bad.
Yeah, it's not so big. It's not so big. And he beat him up. Right? So from there, some say that Chafetz Chaim taught that you're not allowed to say such things about yourself. Again, which is, it all depends on the atmosphere. If I'm talking to myself, everybody knows I'm talking about myself. It's not a problem. You're allowed to say, you're allowed to say, you're allowed to say that you guys are overstating my honor. I'm not so. Everybody, I'm a Bavarian. I'm a big trickster. I'm a big Ramai. I'm a big cheater. I'm lying to you all. What do you want to say?
Small direction. If you're learning like this b'chavruta and a chacham is calling you on the phone,
Yeah.
you're allowed to answer the phone.
Do you have a schedule for a chacham to call you at that moment? He's calling out of the blue. You have to wait. What's the big deal? Like anything else. If the chacham is calling you according to a schedule, you have to pick up. But if you're not just chacham, anybody. You told somebody to call you at 11:30, and the guy is calling you at 11:30.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
If it's somebody regular, yeah.
You don't have to. I just told you don't have to. You're not over a sur if you're specifically when you're learning. You're not dishonoring the person. No, he walks in there and he tells you come in, then you have no right to say no. But then a phone call is a phone call. Habibi. What's the difference? You missed a phone call. But now that the world is in the middle of learning Torah, first rule is don't look at the phone in the middle of learning Torah. These people. But let's say you did the Avera looking, you don't have to pick up the phone on anybody. Unless, like right now, I picked up the phone, right? I don't interrupt my phone call. Here, we're in the middle of learning. How dare I pick up? How dare me pick up? Because I'm expecting an inspector is driving me crazy. The lady over there, inspector on the property, you have to come with me. She's driving me nuts.
What happened?
There's a little bush over 8 inches. Give me a violation. Not one bush. The property is 95% clean. No, sir. That corner over there. I want to see what exactly you mean. Yeah. Hold on a second. She's calling me. Okay, so B'ezrat Hashem, we're continuing. So again, if it's going to be bizayon, that other people will say that the honor of Torah is diminished, then the father has no right to listen to his son, not to honor him. Even the father has to obligate because his son is his Rebbe. He has to honor him. Right? But if it's, let's say, in the middle of the restaurant, a rabbi comes in, will you not get up?
Of course.
So you're pressing. In the middle of shiur, asur to get up. Were you here at that moment that I said?
No.
Many people make a mistake. In the middle of a lecture of a rabbi, the rabbi is 15 years old and everybody's sitting there and listening to the lecture. Rav Ovadia walks in, it's an avera to get up.
אבל למשל,
15 or 50 years
15 years old, doesn't matter who's learning Torah.
היינו לומדים למשל עם הרב משה, משה בוטון.
Yes.
וכשהיה נכנס מישהו לבית כנסת, אם היה נכנס הרב המבוגר הזה, איך קוראים לו?
לא משנה, אוקיי, נו.
אז הרב משה בעצמו היה
No, that's not a shiur. That's a chavruta learning. Okay, like right now we're learning b'chavruta. Shiur is that the rabbi is at the pedestal over there. Everybody's sitting. There's a whole tzibur, and they're all listening. They're not learning chavruta. Chavruta is different. Chavruta is different rules. Okay. Het. Rav Ariel Hashem got really, really upset with us. We went off the topic. He says. How do I know that? He picked up a phone. Okay, Mechila. I apologize. My apologies to you. Het, please put your finger on het. So the question is like this. The Shulchan Aruch is asking a question. Adeichan kabot av va'em. Until when is the person obligated to honor his father and mother? Afilu natlu kish shel zehuvim. Even shelo, the father and mother come to you, go to your pocket. You have a full pocket of gold. V'yishlichu b'fanav leyam. And they in the boat, driving in the boat, and they're upset with something. I don't know what. I told you already many times. Don't look at your parents. Never. Don't even talk to them. Be on the side, kacha, yes. People think I'm something is strange with me.
until you're spoken to.
That's right. You must fear them like you fear.
to my father now.
You fear. Okay. Like you fear Nebuchadnezzar. I'm telling you, I'm not a joke. Literally. Hitler, you're going to talk next to Hitler. You don't want the guy to know you to exist. The guy is anti-Semitic, right? That's the same thing with the parents. Stay away. Stay away. Somebody tells me, no, the mother wants me to call them every day. Habibi, figure out a way for that to stop. Figure out a way. Because with all the respect, with all your honor, in 20 years you made him one time upset, haram alecha.
Right, but my mom, like when my mom says, let's say she sees my kids, right? She
Yes.
says, I saw you for a minute, it's already, it
Enough
made
of
my
it.
whole week.
That's it. Good.
And
Good.
for them it's like...
Very good. Very good.
It's like...
Very good.
You
But
can't explain
I don't initiate. That's my problem. That's my point. The point is I don't negotiate. No negotiations. We have to understand we live in a generation where it's chutzpah yazget. Our children are what honor? What honor? You have to honor them, Bichlal.
They're talking to you like you
That's
own
the generation we live in. So a person has to understand, set boundaries. You know why I'm not calling my parents anymore? I want my children to know, you have no right to talk to me, Bichlal. I want my children to understand that. What are you talking to me, Bichlal? Who are you? I don't tell them ideas. Who are you? What is this? Today they could talk things. I never dreamt of thinking to my parents of such things. They could talk to you like so. Khalas, put up a line, and everything. No, you have to be sensitive, America. So when is it gonna stop? When is it gonna stop? This sensitivity is not getting us anywhere. No, you have to be honoring your children, loving, respecting them non-stop. Habibi.
Rabbi, but it doesn't. You have to start at a very young age.
No. I'm talking about. Forget about starting the young age. Today is the society is gamur. It is gone. You could start till start. It doesn't matter when you start. The question is differently.
I'm sorry, it matters.
No.
You put them at place when they're very little.
Start from you. I'm saying.
You have to start from
Now that you
That's
hear
what
me,
he's saying.
now that you hear me saying to you, yesterday when we learned the parents came to your president of the United States and did whatever. You're not allowed to even wink. They beat you up in front, embarrass you in the whole world. You're not allowed to wink. You learn it. Shulchan Aruch. Open Shulchan Aruch. Here's the same concept. That's fear. What about honor? Same concept. They come to you and they say, take your money and they throw it right into the ocean. Lo yachlimem, you're not allowed to embarrass them, not allowed to say a word. Velo yitzaer bifnehem, and lo yitzaer, and you're not even allowed to be upset in front of them.
If they take your money and throw it into the ocean.
The Habibi, they come to you and they say, your wife is the worst thing in the world. Your children are the worst thing in the world. Lo yitzaer bifnehem. Habibi,
Yes, thank you.
not allowed to show any remorse for their language. You're not allowed. You know, like sometimes I do over here. Somebody says something here right now. It just happened. I thought he was talking bad about my dear neighbor Jew. I was like, hello? That hello is prohibited with your parents. She's talking Lashon Hara. Rav Avadia, he did X, Y, and Z. What? You want to kill her. What? Your mother. Your father. You want to kill them. How dare you talk about Dorador, Eliyahu Hanavi? How dare you talk about him? Lo yitzaer bifnehem. Don't show an ounce that you're upset with what they're doing. And you know it's wrong. And it's against halacha what they're doing. Mechalale Shabbat, I don't care what. Turn on the lights. He turns on the lights on Shabbat and he's driving a car. Don't show any remorse, says halacha. This is halacha. This is not some rabbi sofer on the side. This is Shulchan Aruch.
If your father calls you, you shouldn't ask him, did you put on tefillin today?
What? You're gonna ask your father?
You can't correct them. You can't.
Can do nothing,
I'm telling you, I'm not calling to my father, never.
right?
Never.
Velo yichos.
Even
A
if I call,
child?
he never answer.
A child is not
But he can call 2 o'clock in the
Now.
morning sometimes, 4
Excuse
o'clock
me?
in the morning.
good. Velo yichos kenegdam. Never get angry in front of them. Ela yikabel gezirat hakatuv v'yishtok. He should be accepting from Hashem what Hashem is doing. Be quiet. This is what Hashem said. Honor and fear your mother and father. Honor and this is what honor means. Today I get a phone call. Rabbi, I want to get a divorce. What happened? He is not relating to me. He's not giving me his time. Rabbi, I can handle it. Excuse me? Do you fulfill the first halacha of Shulchan Aruch for marriage? What's the first halacha? Treat him as a king. Let's start there. No? Do you?
And see what he's gonna do for you.
Right. Today you have rabbis.
Treat him as a king, and then see.
Today the rabbis are teaching washing Torah. It's whitewashed completely. Habibi, first rule of marriage. First rule of marriage. Your wife is the king. First rule of Kibbutz Avayim. Your parents are God. They are God. I want to see you talk to Hashem any other way. They're God. Finished. ויש אומרים, here's the Haggah, ויש אומרים, אם רוצה לזרוק מעות של בן לים דיכול למונעו, דהיינו חייב לכבודו רק משל אב, אבל לא משל בן. Listen to this, Rema. If there is a way for you to prevent him from throwing money into the ocean, and there's going to be only one route, he is telling you, open the safe. Says Rama, there are some say you don't have to open the safe.
אם אתה יודע שהוא רוצה לזרוק.
הוא אומר לך, אני רוצה לזרוק, I'm going to throw you out money. Right? But if he's telling you, this is my safe, my money, open it and I'm going to burn the money, you have no right to stop him. Because many sons, what are you going to say? This is my money. You're dying and you're 1 foot in the grave. Halas, die already, old man, let me have the money, right? The father says, open my safe, and you know the code, for whatever reasons, and you must. There you have no obligation. There you don't have a right to prevent him. Now, if a father came to you and took the money, and now, for sure, Ramah doesn't mean that you could grab the money out of his pocket, out of his hand. That's already disrespect.
And what you do if one of the parents, God forbid, they know where you're hiding your money,
right? So.
And you go somewhere, and when you're coming back, and you figure...
This is exactly what we're talking about. You came back, no money.
Some of the money gone.
Well, Shulchan told you, in front of you he took it. What's the difference you left? The Ramah is telling you the only time you're allowed to protest is if he's telling you to open the safe, to take the money. But if let's say he came to you, you have a whole big sack of gold here, and he grabbed the money. Now you're going to fight with him back? For sure, that Ramah doesn't mean. The only way to explain the Ramah says that you're allowed to protect your money if he's telling you open the safe, something that's not in his possession yet. There you don't have to take the money and to give it to his hands.
Wow. Let's go.
That's a problem, big problem.
Listen again.
How many, Rabbi,
Listen, it says.
How many lashes that we're going to get for every time we disrespected our parents?
No. The point over here.
Lose years of your life.
The point of it,
Worse.
Zohar, the point over here of this lessons is not to diminish anybody, to degrade anybody. Here we are trying to establish back to normal. When I say to people, don't contact your parents, it is also extreme, right? Why is it extreme? Because right now the world is on one extreme. We are so far. A child could look at I'm talking about 3-year-old Spendel could talk to his father like he's nothing.
Yosef.
So how do we do that? How do we stop that? By us putting boundaries. Look at the Shulchan Aruch. Here's halacha. There's a nuance of getting your parents upset. I'm telling you. Yes, your mother wants you to call every day. Your father wants you to call them every day.
So but they want you to call every
even
day.
if they want, I say, find a way to
avoid it.
Find a way.
Yeah, my WhatsApp is disconnected.
I forgot my phone.
Don't pay your phone. I have no WhatsApp problem. My WhatsApp is they're gonna complain, right? What happened? You didn't call me in Israel. The WhatsApp.
Can we set white lie in this situation?
Yes, of course. You're allowed to lie when you know that there is gonna be.
We're full of white lies.
That's right. You're allowed to.
Especially when it comes to parents.
I got a permission from the rabbi.
That's right. You're allowed to lie.
Waiting for me already 2 weeks.
Now, one second. This is talking about when you calling them. I didn't say you're not allowed. You have zero permission not to pick up when they call you, except for in the middle of learning, obviously. In the middle of learning, like in the middle of parnasah, we said that yes, they're right. In the middle of parnasah, that you need to earn the money. the guy's an Uber driver, and that's his money for the day. Then we said he's not allowed. The father cannot prevent him. We said yesterday in certain situation. Huh?
But from going.
Right. From going on. Some people try to make $1 billion. That's a different story. Okay, not every time. But in the middle of learning Torah, it never is allowed. In the middle of learning to make a phone call, to receive a phone call from your father.
Anybody over 10 million, you can take it.
Over 10 million only?
I take 10, take the rest.
10 million. Only over 10 million. Okay. Don't forget you said those words. I'll hold you to it.
There's two witnesses.
Yeah, that's it. No witness. I have a video.
Shoot,
I have a video.
I really didn't pay attention. I got 2 witnesses.
Habibi, don't worry. You're gonna
Tomorrow
build
I
us.
got 100 million.
Yeah, you're gonna build us a
I'm
yeshiva.
done.
Don't worry.
I'm done.
Wow, one second. You just said 10 million is enough for you. What's you complaining about? So what's
For
the
me,
difference?
10 million.
So the 90 million you give to the yeshiva. Next. ודווקא קודם שזרקן ואפשר דממנה ולא אבית, אבל אם כבר זרקו, אסור, this is talking about, so the Rama is discussing the concept is,
Keep it and give it to the rabbi. Sorry.
the Rama says over here that this is all transpiring, that there is a way for you to make sure that you're preventing your father from throwing your money, obviously without harming, without going into physical, for sure not physical. We're not even talking about physical yet. We're talking about just getting that emotion, just the emotional aspect of his asur. ובין שיש לו דין עם אביו והאב הוא תובע הבן, צריך הבן ללך אחר אביו, אף על פי שהבן הוא נתבע ודר בעיר אחרת, שזהו כבוד אביו, אבל האב חייב לשלם לבן הוצאות, דהיינו חייב לכבודו משל בן, כמו שנתבהר. Okay, so all this is discussion. Rabbi Stanley, we said that a son is, when is a son obligated to sponsor his father financially? When the father doesn't have. But when the father does have, the son does not obligated to spend from his own. He could tell the father to pay for all the hotzaot, and even if to take his father to Beit Din, he could do it. Let's say the father promised him, "You take care of my needs, I pay you $15,000 a year." For 5 years, the guy is not paying anything, and he has the money. The guy is shlab. Baruch Hashem le'anara. He's Bill Gates, but he doesn't want to take out the money. So the Av has a right, according to Ramah, to even take his father to Beit Din and say, "Listen, I'm sorry, $15,000 a year, that was the agreement, and he's not paying." Now, if the father doesn't have the money, that's a different story. That's a soul. As we already discussed. Halacha, one more halacha, and then we go? Or we have to end
To
here?
be late.
I think we have to.
Yeah.
I think we have to end here.
Doctor's waiting.
So, yeah, the inspectors are there. So now, let me give a bracha. Thank you, first of all, for joining us. Bezat Hashem, those that need to make parnasa, לכו תתפרנסו בנחת בשלווה בשמחה, without any struggle, and only in good health, with a lot of money, and siyata dishmaya in all of them.
Amen.